Hello everyone, this is a Geek Must Have with a guilt video. Yes, I did it again. By hanging around AliExpress, eBay, Adafruit, and Makers Fairs, I've gotten a boatload of electronic kits. This usually happens late night after a few glasses of Patron tequila. Take a look at the slides, and if any of them interest you, then watch the video. Each of the kits will be time linked in the description below so you can skip to the kit that interests you the most. This item is the red and blue flashing LED kit, using the NE555 and the CD4017 on a little circuit board like this with red LEDs on one side and blue LEDs on the other side. And you pretty much can get yourself in trouble with this if you stick it inside of your car and pretend you're a police officer. This item is an NE555 do-it-yourself electronic piano and organ kit. And it has a small circuit board with a number of push-button switches, battery holder, the actual 555 NE555 chip, and the switches which fit onto the board. They have little keycaps on them that snap into place. Snap out of place. There we go. So the keycap snaps on top. There's a little push button. This item is 4 of these D52 line tracking do-it-yourself robot kits. I got one of these from a vendor to evaluate and write a review on, and I wasn't able to get it to work because the comparator chip that comes with this didn't seem to work. So they sent me 3 more kits. It comes with a little oval track for the vehicle. It's basically a light emitting diode and a light resistance component, and there's a pair of them, and the comparator tells it to stay on the track by looking for the black. So that's how this is supposed to work. I'll have a video out on the review of this kit soon, and I got a whole bunch more of them. These items are a laser harp. Actually, I got 2 of them, and it's a musical laser harp. There are 7 lasers that sit at the top of the unit, which would be, this would be the top of the unit. And then these little lasers through the top, like so. And then face downwards, and would reflect downwards, and by interrupting the laser stream you would create a tone. So it would be a harp. Some of these kits have been made up in a wooden frame with actually some smoke in between it so that you can see the laser beams come down. Otherwise, laser beams are not as visible as maybe you would like them to be. So the kit comes with a microprocessor, it comes with a microprocessor, a handful of these LEDs, and an instruction sheet. Showing how the integrated circuit works, how it's connected, a parts list, a little bit of an idea of how the construction would look, the integrated circuit, the lasers at the top, the receiving diodes at the bottom, a speaker, and then some tuning, and an oscillator. This item was one that I was looking forward to. It's called a Deauthoring Monster Do-It-Yourself Kit, and it's basically a Wi-Fi hacker and blocker. In this particular kit, it has the case, there's an acrylic case, and then the unit itself. So there's not a lot of construction with this. It does use two 18650 batteries. Wi-Fi deauthoring device. They've changed this a lot since the previous version. It does use an ESP8266. It has an OLED display so you can see that what it's working on, and it works on the 2.4 gigahertz band and not the new 5 dot whatever megahertz band. This item was so big I had to pack it in its own plastic container. It actually came in two separate boxes when it came in, and it is an aluminum body, durable, very large track, as you can see here, the tracks, tank. Comes with a remote control, you can see here, and the entire chassis, all the chassis components of this are made out of aluminum. Some of it's extruded, but most of it's just regular aluminum. Comes with two fairly heavy-duty 485 motors, some gears, a ton of little hardware and the likes. Uses the standard 18650 cells, a pair of those, to get its power. Just about everything nowadays that's RC based is using some type of lithium ion or lithium polymer battery type. So this is a tank kit. And the next item is a robot acrylic arm kit with 4 degrees of freedom. It has a little grab manipulator on the end. It has a bunch of acrylic parts that appear to be laser cut. Yeah, those are laser cut. A lot of little parts. Comes with its own motor controller, and comes with a number of little micro servos. And where to go to get the manual. It has an Arduino controller, an Uno controller for it. And the way it works is one of the panels has 4 little potentiometers that you can turn to give it the 4 degrees of freedom, as well as to operate the clamps. Now this has a ton of little parts. They were nice enough to give you a wrench. That was nice of them. So, this is a kit with a shithouse full of servo motors and electronics, including little potentiometers, the Uno, and as you can see, a lot of little laser cut parts. And at least they tell you where to go to find a full-size manual for this thing. Well, I don't know if it's full-size to find a manual. This item is the Adafruit Neotrellis kit. This is the full enclosure kit. Now the Neotrellis is a M4 all-in-one, kind of a USB NeoPixel elastometer audio board. It's powered by one of the new circuits that Adafruit has called the Sandy 51, a Cortex M4 running at 120 megahertz. That's the Neotrellis lights that go underneath the board. These are the little rubbery-like buttons that go on there. And the back of the board is where all the CPUs are that are necessary to drive this. Now, the way this works is these are push buttons as well as lights. So you can program this as a keyboard replacement, or a MIDI device, or like a video controller. You needed to be able to edit videos, and you needed to have a video controller, you could do that. Or a sequencer, you could use it to make a MIDI sequencer out of it. There's quite a few things that can be done with this. And this is the kit with all the components, little rubber feet and everything. This isn't supposed to be that difficult to put together, and there's lots of code examples out there to get started. Actually looking forward to playing with this one. These next items are all in the same class of items. They are solar cars. Basically cars with little tiny motors on them and some wheels. Some have a single rail chassis, some have a full-size chassis and a solar cell. And you put them on, you assemble them, let the sun shine on them, and the sun is what makes them move forward. I thought that these would be fun to make with my grandson, but because you can't control them, he doesn't seem to be interested. Now I have 4 solar car do-it-yourself kits. The next item is another car kit, only this one has a single motor and has a battery pack on it. It has some little googly eyes, and it has little tiny tracks on it. So when you assemble it, it's supposed to be like a little tank. The little tank cannon doesn't do anything. It's not like a sensor or anything like that. This is just Pretty basic. 2 batteries power the motor powers the tracks, and it moves around. This next one's kind of interesting. This is a little styrofoam ball launcher kit. And basically it's a kit with a full-size chassis on it and a couple of motors that rotate. And a little trowel that you put the styrofoam balls on. And when you put the styrofoam balls on there, and they give you some styrofoam balls with the kit, only a couple, it's supposed to spin and then launch these balls off into the future. This item is a tank kit. It runs on a couple of AA batteries. It has plastic wheels, and the tracks are basically just rubber bands. Nothing exotic about that, but another basic little kit. Most of it's mechanical. You toss it together, you put some googly eyes on it, and it can go forward and bump into things. Seem to have a lot of these kits. That's part of the problem, is that I have a lot of these kits. The next kit is a little electronic windmill kit. It has a set of spiral arms on it, so the LEDs form a set of spiral arms going outwards, and the multiprocessor chip on here is programmed in such a way to go through a series of effects with it. This is a little tiny kit, probably good for a Sunday afternoon. This item is a blue LED heart breathing do-it-yourself kit. And it's a little circuit board with a heart on it. And when they say breathing, usually means some type of pulsation. So there's a series of LEDs that go around the outside here. Chip to control the breathing part. And usually the lights fade in and then fade back out again. So that's, when they say breathing, that's what that means. This next little kit is kind of interesting. It is a TDL 555, basically a 555 timer chip. That is a little tiny touch delay switch. And you can get a delay anywhere from 3 seconds to like about 1.5 minutes. It has a little row of LEDs there. And this item is an intelligent car kit. It comes with 2 of these large motors with the kind of rubberized wheels, a set of casters, and 4 AA batteries.
And it's an intelligent car because it has a Uno processor that comes with it. Here is the Uno processor. So standard Uno processor comes with a power distribution shield that fits on top of the Uno. Comes with a H-bridge controller to control the motors and the rest of the components. And it comes with ultrasonic detector as well as a mount with a servo, which is a turning head to be able to look at whether there's an object in front of you, and if there was, then look to the right or the left and see if it's safe to move in those directions. So this is an intelligent car kit based on an Uno and a couple of, I think they're D1 or DT130 motors. These items are going back in time to makers fairs that I attended years ago. And the way you can tell is I have a Minty boost. This is a where you take a Altoids tin and turn it into a power bank by using a couple of batteries in this particular kit. I have a version 2 kit, and I must have bought one either the following year or the following couple of years, a Minty Boost 3.0. And I also have one of these TV Be Gone version 1.2, and I know the 1.2 is an older kit that doesn't cover as many TV sets as the newer ones do, but these are all from the Adafruit store, but the Adafruit store that was being sold out of the Makers Fair. So there was a Makers Fair booth, and they carried a lot of Adafruit stuff. This goes back a little bit in history. Some other items that also go back to the Makers Fair are this LED art kit, which is basically a handful of color changing LEDs that run off a small CR 3220, some little cell, little button battery, and a little tiny frame and a diffuser. Something real simple to make your own artwork. And then a Blinky Bug kit, which makes 4 bugs. And this is another one of those CR 2032 button cells with a little vibrator motor on there from a cell phone and a couple of LEDs and some legs. And they basically, after you build this, they hop around and they look cute. Some more items from the Makers Fair.
This is a collection of 20 different do-it-yourself electronic kits that I have ordered and ordered and ordered. The time code index in the description should make it easy for you to look at the kits that are of interest to you. Please stay tuned to my channel as I'll be doing some build video on some of these kits. If you were entertained, learned something, or even just laughed a little, please click on the like button. Leave me a comment with suggestions, requests, or even criticisms. I try to respond to any and all comments. Show your support by subscribing to my channel. Every subscriber that I get makes me smile just a little bit more. I do have a goal. My goal is 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Please be one of those subscribers. I have a companion blog at geekmusthave.com where I ramble on about all things technical. Stop by and visit me. I've included my email in the description below. Thank you and have a good one.